There is something undeniably powerful about a woman who refuses to beg for attention, because she doesn't need to. She walks into a room and people notice not because she's the loudest or the most demanding, but because her presence speaks for itself. She is confident, independent, and focused, and that, above all else, makes her unforgettable. The truth is, the women who are impossible to ignore don't spend their time chasing. They don't chase men, approval, or validation. Instead, they chase purpose. They know that their time is valuable, their energy is sacred, and their love is something that must be earned, not handed out freely to those who do not appreciate it. Confidence is one of the most powerful qualities a person can have, but for a woman, it is truly magnetic. It is the difference between being overlooked and being unforgettable. Confidence is not just about how you look, how you speak, or how you carry yourself. It's about the energy you bring into every room, every conversation, and every interaction. It's the silent force that makes people stop and take notice, not because you demand attention, but because your presence naturally commands it. A confident woman does not seek approval from others. She does not live her life waiting for validation, nor does she base her self-worth on external opinions. She knows her value not because someone told her, but because she has done the inner work to discover it for herself. This kind of certainty is rare, and it is what makes her stand out. The key to confidence is self-assurance. It's knowing that you are enough exactly as you are, without needing to prove it. A confident woman does not shrink herself to fit into spaces that were never meant for her. She does not apologize for taking up space, for voicing her opinions, or for choosing her own path. She moves through life with clarity, understanding that confidence is not about arrogance, but about a quiet certainty in her own abilities. One of the most compelling aspects of confidence is that it affects how people perceive you. The way you carry yourself influences the way others treat you. When a woman walks into a room with her head held high, shoulders back, and a genuine smile, people notice. They may not even be able to explain why, but they are drawn to her energy. She radiates a sense of self-assurance that makes her presence impossible to ignore. Confidence is also deeply connected to independence. A woman who is confident does not rely on anyone else to make her feel secure or worthy. She builds her own life, sets her own goals, and creates her own happiness. She understands that she is responsible for her own fulfillment and does not wait for someone else to complete her. This makes her incredibly attractive, not just in a romantic sense, but in every aspect of life. People want to be around her because she exudes strength and positivity. What makes confidence even more magnetic is the ability to remain unshaken by external opinion. A confident woman does not seek validation through social media, relationships, or the approval of others. She is grounded in her values, in her own perception of self-worth, and in the knowledge that she does not need to impress anyone. She focuses on growth, learning, and becoming the best version of herself rather than competing with others. Confidence also influences the way a woman handles challenges. Life will always present difficulties, setbacks, and failures. But a confident woman does not allow these moments to define her. She views obstacles as opportunities to grow, and she does not let fear hold her back from taking risks. She trusts herself to figure things out, even when the path ahead is unclear. A confident woman is also comfortable in her own skin. She does not compare herself to others, because she knows that her journey is unique. She embraces her strengths, but she also acknowledges her flaws without self-judgment. She understands that perfection is an illusion, and instead of chasing it, she focuses on authenticity. This level of self-acceptance makes her presence powerful and inspiring. At the core of confidence is self-love. When a woman truly loves herself, it shows in everything she does. She treats herself with kindness, she sets boundaries, and she surrounds herself with people who respect her. She does not settle for less than she deserves because she knows her worth, and this, more than anything, makes her completely unforgettable. Independence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess, but for a woman it carries an even deeper power. A woman who is independent does not need to rely on anyone else to create her happiness, achieve her goals, or define her worth. She is strong, self-sufficient, and capable of standing on her own 2 feet. This kind of energy is magnetic. It draws people in, not because she seeks attention, but because she naturally commands respect. An independent woman knows who she is. She is not searching for someone to complete her, because she is already whole. She does not mold herself to fit into someone else's expectations or seek validation from external sources. Her sense of self-worth comes from within, and that makes her incredibly compelling. People admire her confidence, her ambition, and her ability to navigate life on her own terms. One of the reasons independence is so attractive is that it reflects strength. A woman who can take care of herself, make her own decisions, and build a life she loves exudes an undeniable power. She does not wait for someone else to give her permission to chase her dreams. She takes action, knowing that she is responsible for her own success and happiness. This kind of mindset sets her apart from the crowd. Independence also shows resilience. Life is full of challenges, and an independent woman faces them head on. She does not break down at the first sign of difficulty or give up when things don't go as planned. Instead, she finds solutions, adapts, and keeps moving forward. She is not afraid to be alone, to take risks, or to step outside her comfort zone. This kind of strength is not only inspiring, but also deeply attractive. Another reason why independence is so powerful is that it creates a sense of mystery. A woman who has her own life, her own passions, and her own ambitions is intriguing. She does not need constant attention or validation from others because she is fulfilled within herself. She is busy building something meaningful, and that makes her irresistible. People want to know more about her, to understand what drives her, and to be part of her world. Independence also fosters emotional maturity. A woman who is secure in herself does not play games, seek drama, or rely on manipulation to get what she wants. She communicates honestly, sets clear boundaries, and respects herself enough to walk away from anything that does not serve her. She does not need to chase anyone, beg for love, or settle for less than she deserves. She attracts people who value her because she values herself first. A truly independent woman understands the balance between strength and vulnerability. She is not afraid to ask for help when needed, but she does not depend on others to solve her problems. She builds her own success, creates her own happiness, and takes full ownership of her life. This kind of self-reliance makes her incredibly attractive because it signals to others that she is someone worth investing in, whether in friendship, business, or love. The truth is, people are drawn to those who exude confidence, strength, and purpose. An independent woman does not live her life trying to impress others. She focuses on becoming the best version of herself. She is constantly learning, growing, and evolving, and that kind of energy is contagious. At the end of the day, independence is not about rejecting love, relationships, or connection. It is about knowing that those things should enhance your life, not complete it. A woman who is independent does not settle for anything less than she deserves. She is not afraid to be alone because she knows she is enough. And that is what makes her truly unstoppable. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful qualities a person can possess, and for a woman, it sets her apart in ways that go beyond surface-level attraction. It is not just about understanding emotions, it is about mastering them, channeling them, and using them to build deeper connections, navigate challenges, and stand out in a world that often rewards strength, but overlooks the power of self-awareness. A woman with high emotional intelligence does not just react to life, she responds with intention, grace, and wisdom. One of the most remarkable things about emotional intelligence is its ability to foster self-awareness. A woman who understands her emotions does not let them control her. She does not act impulsively, lash out in frustration, or allow temporary feelings to dictate her decisions. Instead, she takes a step back, assesses the situation, and responds in a way that aligns with her values and long-term goals. This level of self-mastery is rare, and it makes her stand out in any environment. Another reason emotional intelligence sets a woman apart is that it allows her to build strong, meaningful relationships. She understands the emotions of those around her and knows how to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts, and offer genuine support. She listens with empathy, speaks with purpose, and creates an environment where people feel safe to be themselves. She does not manipulate or play mind games because she values authenticity. This ability to connect on a deep level makes her unforgettable. Emotional intelligence also gives a woman the power to remain calm under pressure. In a world filled with stress, chaos, and uncertainty, the ability to stay composed is invaluable. She does not let criticism break her, nor does she allow setbacks to define her. Instead, she sees challenges as opportunities for growth. She controls her emotions instead of being controlled by them, and that kind of strength commands respect. Another defining characteristic of an emotionally intelligent woman is her ability to set boundaries. She knows her worth and refuses to tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or negativity. She does not overextend herself to please others at the expense of her own well-being. Instead, she surrounds herself with people who uplift and inspire her. She understands that saying no is not selfish, it is necessary. This level of self-respect makes her stand out because so many people struggle with maintaining boundaries. Emotional intelligence also enhances a woman's ability to navigate the complexities of life with grace. Whether she is dealing with personal relationships, professional challenges, or societal expectations, she handles them with wisdom and poise. She does not let rejection, failure, or criticism shake her confidence because she understands that these experiences are a part of life, not a reflection of her worth. She learns from them, grows stronger, and moves forward with even greater determination. Furthermore, a woman with high emotional intelligence exudes confidence, not the loud, attention-seeking kind, but the quiet, unshakable confidence that draws people in. She does not need external validation because she validates herself. She trusts her intuition, believes in her abilities, and carries herself with a sense of certainty that makes others take notice. People are naturally drawn to her presence because she radiates self-assurance and inner peace. At the core of emotional intelligence is resilience. Life will always have ups and downs, but an emotionally intelligent woman does not crumble under pressure. She adapts, learns, and rises stronger each time she is tested. She does not dwell on the past or waste energy on things she cannot control. Instead, she focuses on what she can change and moves forward with clarity and purpose. This resilience is rare, and it sets her apart in a world that often struggles to handle adversity. In the end, emotional intelligence is more than just a skill. It is a superpower. It allows a woman to navigate life with confidence, build meaningful relationships, and stand out in any room she enters. It gives her the ability to handle challenges with grace, communicate with impact, and create a life that is aligned with her values. A woman who has mastered her emotions is not just different, she is unforgettable. In a world that constantly glorifies the pursuit of success, of wealth, of relationships, of status, it is easy to get caught up in the chase. Many people believe that if they just work harder, move faster, or do more, they will eventually find fulfillment. But what if the key to a truly meaningful life is not in the endless pursuit, but in purpose itself? A woman who understands this does not just chase. She builds, she creates, and she moves with intention. She does not waste energy running after things that do not align with her purpose. Instead, she focuses on becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts what is meant for her. Purpose is what gives life direction. It is not about fleeting achievements or external validation. It is about understanding why you do what you do. A woman with purpose wakes up every day with a sense of clarity. She is not constantly seeking the approval of others or measuring her worth by society's standards. She knows that fulfillment does not come from chasing things. It comes from living in alignment with her deepest values. When a woman prioritizes purpose over pursuit, she naturally stands out. While others are busy trying to impress, she is busy trying to grow. While others are chasing love, she is cultivating self-love. While others are scrambling to be seen, she is focused on making an impact. She is not easily swayed by trends, distractions, or the fear of missing out, because she understands that true success is not about speed, it is about direction. One of the greatest benefits of living with purpose is that it removes the feeling of desperation. Many people chase relationships, jobs, or social status out of fear of being alone, fear of falling behind, fear of not being enough. But when a woman is guided by purpose, she does not operate from a place of scarcity. She knows that what is truly meant for her will align with her mission, and she refuses to settle for anything less. Purpose also provides resilience. When life gets difficult, and it always does, a woman without purpose might feel lost. She may wonder if all her efforts were in vain. She may question herself, doubting whether she has what it takes to succeed. But a woman who is grounded in her purpose does not give up at the first sign of failure. She understands that setbacks are just detours, not dead ends. She keeps going because her purpose is bigger than any obstacle she faces. Another reason purpose is more powerful than pursuit is that it creates a lasting legacy. Chasing goals for the sake of achievement may lead to temporary satisfaction, but living with purpose ensures that her impact extends far beyond her own life. She does not just work for a paycheck, she works to make a difference. She does not just seek love, she seeks meaningful connections. Boundaries are often misunderstood. Some see them as walls, barriers that keep people out, signs of distance or disinterest. But the truth is, boundaries are not about separation, they are about respect. A woman who sets boundaries does not push people away. She teaches them how to treat her. She makes it clear what she will and will not accept. Not because she is difficult, but because she values herself. Respect is not something that can be demanded with words alone. It must be demonstrated, reinforced, and upheld through actions. When a woman sets clear boundaries, she sends a powerful message. She will not tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or emotional exhaustion. She understands that her energy, time, and emotional well-being are valuable, and she will not allow them to be drained by those who do not honor her limit. One of the strongest lessons a woman can learn is that people will treat her the way she allows them to. If she constantly overextends herself, saying yes when she means no, tolerating toxic behavior, or making herself available at the expense of her own needs, she teaches others that her time and energy are not important. But when she enforces her boundaries, when she confidently says no without guilt, when she walks away from people who do not respect her, when she prioritizes her own well-being, she commands respect. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-respect. Many women struggle with this because they have been conditioned to believe that being kind means always being available, that being a good friend or partner means sacrificing themselves for others. But real kindness does not require self-neglect. True love, whether in friendships, family, or romantic relationships, does not require losing oneself. A woman who understands her worth knows that she does not have to prove it by overgiving or overcompromising. Boundaries also help define relationships. They separate healthy connections from unhealthy ones. The people who truly respect a woman's boundaries will not see them as a challenge or an insult. They will not try to test them, push them, or guilt her into lowering them. Instead, they will honor them. These are the people who belong in her life. Those who understand that respect is mutual. On the other hand, those who react negatively to a woman's boundaries reveal their true nature. A person who gets angry when she says no is a person who only values her when she says yes. A person who ignores her limits is a person who never respected her in the first place. This is why setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to filter out the people who do not deserve access to her. A woman who sets boundaries is not difficult, arrogant, or unapproachable. She is confident, self-aware, and strong. She does not beg for respect. She earns it by respecting herself first. She does not need to explain or apologize for enforcing her limits. She simply stands firm in them, knowing that those who truly value her will respect them without question. In the end, boundaries are not just about keeping out negativity, they are about making room for what truly matters. They protect a woman's peace, allow her to focus on her goals, and ensure that she is surrounded by people who uplift rather than drain her. A woman who sets boundaries does not seek approval. She seeks alignment, and that is why she commands respect wherever she goes. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, where voices compete for attention, and where words are often used as weapons or distractions, presence remains the most powerful force. A woman who commands attention does not need to be the loudest person in the room. She does not need to constantly explain herself, defend her worth, or seek validation through endless conversation. Her presence alone speaks for her. Presence is not just about being physically seen. It is about the energy a woman carries, the confidence she exudes, and the way she holds herself. When she walks into a room with self-assurance, when she stands tall with a quiet but undeniable strength, people notice. They may not even know why, but they feel it. Her presence lingers longer than words ever could. There is a reason why true power is often silent. It does not need to prove itself. A woman who knows her worth does not need to announce it. She does not have to beg for respect, chase attention, or convince people of her value. She embodies it. And that embodiment makes a stronger impact than any speech, argument, or plea ever could. This is why some of the most unforgettable people are not those who talk the most, but those who carry themselves with an unshakable sense of purpose. Their energy was enough. Their composure, their confidence, their ability to remain unbothered by negativity, all of it spoke volumes without a single word being uttered. A woman with presence does not need to constantly explain herself. She understands that explanations are often unnecessary for those who truly see her and wasted on those who never will. Instead of over-explaining, she lets her actions, her consistency, and her values show who she is. She does not chase approval. She does not argue for her worth. She simply lives in a way that makes it impossible to ignore. Her silence is not weakness, it is intentional. She understands that not every situation deserves her reaction, that not every insult needs to be addressed, and that real strength lies in choosing what to engage with and what to ignore. This is why she remains composed, even in the face of doubt or criticism. She knows that her energy is valuable, and she does not waste it on unnecessary battles. Presence is also about how a woman makes others feel. People may forget her words, but they will remember how they felt in her presence. Did she make them feel heard? Did she carry a calm, steady energy? Did she inspire respect simply by being herself? These things create a lasting impression far deeper than words ever could. This kind of presence cannot be faked. It comes from self-awareness, from deep inner work, from a woman knowing exactly who she is and refusing to shrink for anyone. It comes from experience, from learning that real power is not about dominating a conversation, but about holding space with confidence and certainty. A woman who understands this does not fear being overlooked or underestimated. She knows that true influence does not come from how much she talks, but from the way she carries herself. She does not demand attention, she commands it. And the right people, the ones who recognize real strength, will always take notice. In the end, words can be forgotten, but presence leaves an imprint. It shapes how a woman is perceived, how she is remembered, and how she influences the world around her. So while many will rely on words to prove their worth, a woman with true presence lets her very being do the talking. A woman who has her own life, her own dreams, and her own ambitions is someone who captivates. She is not waiting for someone to come and complete her because she is already whole. She builds a life she loves, not to impress someone else, but because she deserves it. She isn't afraid to go after what she wants, and she certainly doesn't wait for permission. This kind of independence is what makes people take notice, because she is driven by her own fire, not by a need for external validation. Many people react to situations based on impulse, but a woman who understands her emotions and controls them is in a league of her own. She doesn't waste time on drama. She doesn't let rejection break her, because she understands that the right things, the right people, and the right opportunities will always find her. She is graceful in her actions, wise in her responses, and strong in the way she handles challenges. She knows that emotions are powerful, but only when they are mastered, not when they control her.